Was on my dad's show.
Days on.
Oh, okay. No. Oh yeah, I didn't
So
pick
yeah,
that.
again, same thing with Nico. I'm wondering how they're if they're gonna tie that into this show in the later season. I would love to see him become Hulk. That would be pretty fun.
Okay.
Another person of note that is there is Kurt Connors, who is
Not Kirk
not
Connors.
Kurt Connors. Who?
Carla.
Who's a black woman instead of a white guy.
So not only do we got race swap, but we got a gender swap.
Yeah,
We just doing stuff.
it's
It might work, it
fits,
might not work,
it
but it's
fits
like, what
when
are we
with
doing?
the it's trying it's not it doesn't make it obvious that this is a multiversal type thing, but it is with the change, but still the same type of pattern that we keep seeing over and over again. Same person, they just look different.
And if for you guys who don't know, Carl Curtis later
Soon
become
to be Lizard.
soon to be Lizard. So
But
yes.
it's kind of the same thing with in the Spider-Verse movies. Doc Ock is a girl in that one.
Okay.
It's different but the same.
Okay.
That's kind of how they're doing it. Because we see in this one, Doc Ock is literally ripped straight out of the comics.
Oh
So
yes.
he's still the same, but his other stuff is different but the same.
So yeah, so it's some stuff the same, some stuff different.
It's multiverse.
I guess. Well, then. So is that known? Is that what was written? This is multiverse. Get ready to get your socks
This
blown
is an
off.
alternate. You know what I mean? And it looks like, and I'm only saying multiverse
because
of all of the MCU similarities.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, this is a variant universe to the MCU. That's
so
kind of how.
Is that why we get Doctor Strange so early? Like first scene.
Doctor Strange does play a big part in Spider-Man in the MCU.
In the MCU
so that
with the
that could be a reason.
Okay. All right. And with Carla Connor, just in our other Spider-Mans, it's automatic that she works for Norman, or he works for Norman, and him not having an arm is a really, really big deal. So all of his time and effort and energy is based off of that type of research. This one would just get Carla just managing
that's kind of how the Lizard is though. It's a slow burn.
It's a slow burn. So that's probably gonna be season 2 that where we really get her story.
We didn't play it, but in the Spider-Man games, you get Kurt Connors in the first game, but it takes you to the second to fight the Lizard, and a bunch of the animated stuff. He is, or she in this case, is a strong mentor to Peter and really helps him become a better scientist.
Okay.
Before she eventually, that's why the turn to Lizard is so painful. They actually did it in the Amazing Spider-Man with Garfield. They're homeboys throughout most of the movie.
Yes.
And he finds out you're Lizard, he's like, dang, that's my dog.
Even with Toby, he was a mentor.
Yeah.
Because he was always missing class, and he was like, man, you got to be here. Yes.
The fourth movie got canceled, but he was supposed to be the main villain. So again, it took 3 movies to set him up. So
okay,
it could be till season 3.
We got time. We got time to see what she got going on.
Yeah.
So as of right now, do you feel like she's being a strong mentor, or that they haven't really developed that character yet?
With the small amount of screen time that she has gotten, I feel like they're setting her up. It's gonna be good.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right.
Post internship, we get to see they're working on projects. Him and Carla are building their relationship.
Norman in the background, doing his thing, much like how the leader should have been. He back there, he plotting, he planning on taking over some things.
And of course, Spider-Man being Spider-Man, he sees something happening. Great power comes great responsibility.
Comes great respect.
Yeah. Before I even say that, we haven't even gotten a hint of that, so we don't even know if Uncle Ben even said that to him yet.
Yes.
But for some reason, he has it in him that he has to go save these lives, even at the internship. So he leaves, get into a little scuffle, comes back super late, super awkward or whatever, and then he gets called to his office, which it was dumb that he changed in the stairwell, but I thought he was going to get away with it. Nothing in my mind ever said Norm was going to find out, and then boom, big cliffhanger of the last episode, they find out that, hey, I caught you on the security cameras. I know it's your Spider-Man.
So guess what? As an adult, that seemed very possible. No, it not even possible. It's like, oh, you about to get caught. You in Oscorp. You don't think they got cameras everywhere? I was like, probably the only place they don't have a camera is the bathroom. But I could see as a teenager not even thinking that far and just thinking there's no one around. No possible concept of cameras. So, and I think that's
difference between me and you.
That's
the
difference.
I didn't
oh
think
man, soon I was like, oh my goodness,
I didn't think that.
this dude about to get caught up. He changing in the stairwell. Man,
Never
do that outside or something. Well, yeah.
You said you didn't like that because Norman, because of course, even though he was a good guy for about 8 episodes straight. I already knew it's Norman Osborn. He's gonna go bad at some point. So I was like, dude, how is this gonna work with him already knowing that he's Spider-Man?
He started off super early. We got we first episode in.
That might be second or third. And he already knows how you feel like that's gonna work later down the line when he becomes.
How is it gonna work for Spider-Man, for Peter knowing that?
Because I feel like that's kind of again, not to call back to the old movies, but with Toby and William Dafoe, that's kind of they kind of know the other is the other, but they're kind of it's good back and forth chemistry, and they're kind of tippy-toeing on eggshells around each other all the time. With this one, he already know.
Yes. And a thing that I like about this Norman is he's not cynical like William Dafoe is. I mean, he's much more smoother and methodical. So I think that's what in Norman Osborn is played by or is voiced over by a great actor, Domingo, who's coming in real smooth and giving Norman this real smooth and charismatic. And so he has no choice but to pull Peter in. But with that smoothness and with that methodical, he has an ego.
He has an ulterior motive.
He has an ego, but he also has an ego for himself. And that ego, I can see, all right, I got Peter with me, but man, I want to be great like that as well. I know I'm using my mind, but I got to come up with some super serum or something like that. So I can see how him just watching Peter's growth is messing with his ego and making him have to now try to start transforming himself into something greater.
Not that. Are you saying that because you know he's Norman Osborn, or are you saying that because you really felt that during his performance?
I felt that from his performance.
Okay.
I felt that, and we can get into it. Everything he does is real smooth. Sitting when they're having dinner, jumping around when he goes and visit Doc Ock.
Is it manipulative?
Manipulative? That's an ego thing. Oh, okay. You got to have an ego to think that you can just make people bend at your will. That's an ego. Yes. Doc Ock, when he goes to visit him in jail, he ain't got to go talk to him in jail. But he did it for a reason. I did this. I put you here. So I can see where they're going with Norman. I just hate that they just put them together so fast and just working together, and him knowing who Spider-Man is and him not even really becoming himself and having his alter ego yet of Green Goblin. So
this is what I'm saying. When all these people go bad, like, this is gonna be very heartbreaking for him.
Yes,
for sure. Mm-hmm. After this, he lets him sit on the whether he's gonna join him or not for a little bit, and we get to see more of his school life. We get to see him and Nico's relationship. They've been close ever since he saved her from that. I'm gonna assume it was Venom.
That wasn't Venom.
What do you think? Or what do you think it was?
I don't know. So that's another spin. So it's you would feel like it was Venom,
but I feel like that was a symbiote. Yes.
Oh, so that was Venom that took hold of another creature and took on that form a little bit instead of his own.
Venom doesn't have a form. One.
Yeah, that's true too.
And it's a symbiote. It could have been any symbiote. Just because it's black doesn't mean it's Venom.
Okay, but I don't think it was Venom. I don't know. I was confused.
I just keep saying Venom because it's like
because they want you to think that it's Venom. Like this is Venom, but it ain't Venom.
Seems like it's a symbiote.
Yeah, it's just a slight knockoff, and I'm like, well, why did y'all do that? So I didn't like that. Okay, I didn't like that.
Like I was saying, we see that they're best friends post that, and we see that he's trying to get with that he has a crush on this girl named Pearl that used to babysit him at 11 years old. That that's something that Nico makes fun of him for. This is another change and another character that is out of place.
Yes.
She is. I kind of see what they're trying to do. They're setting up all these young characters close to him so that eventually they branch out. But she's a kind of a lesser known. Her code name is Wave.
Yes.
She's from the Philippines and she can control water. She kind of looks like Aquaman.
Yes.
Don't know how.
And so now we got our first time that is not Mary Jane and it's not Gwen Stacy. Peter now has a new love interest by the name of Pearl.
Who isn't really a love interest for that long because we see that she starts dating Lonnie, who is also soon to be Tombstone.
Yes.
We see that process.
Ooh,
that process
Tombstone.
happens quicker than everybody. He gets the nickname Tombstone, and then he gets the powers by like episode 10. So he's already set up. I don't know when he's gonna get all gray or whatever, but he got the impenetrable skin. He's ready.
Yeah, but no, regardless of how she feels about him, he's still her love interest.
So. By the end of the season, they've broken up, so she's open to be his love interest again.
Because Mary Jane was dating Flash, but you still wouldn't say that Mary Jane wasn't his love interest. Yes,
it was. That's interesting. No Mary Jane, no Gwen. Mm-hmm. But again, we don't in the MCU, which is this is the spinoff of. We don't have a conventional Mary Jane. It's MJ.
MJ.
But is that even? I don't even.
Okay, so we've identified all the characters so far in this season 1. So let's just get into the series and what we thought about it, like what's going on.
With all the stuff that we picked up so far, we then realize that we see that Peter is deciding to. We don't know if he got manipulated by Norman, but he has sided with him, and he wants to team up, and he's all Team Spider-Man.
And he wants to be the neighborhood Spider-Man.
So yeah, with that, we get Norman still trying to take over a little bit. He starts making suits for him, doing all a bunch of stuff. So we get some funny stuff with him going out. All the suits are not working at all. He's going out and getting his butt whooped.
But what's interesting is those suits aren't made up out of nowhere. Those suits are actually comic book accurate, correct?
The one where he's flying around
with the dragonfly on the chest.
Yeah.
Okay, that's from that. Oh, okay. What about that white and black?
The white and that one. It looks a lot like his future Foundation suit when he joins the Fantastic Four, but that wouldn't be not that.
Though. Okay, all right.
So that's just what it is. It's what it looks like. It takes inspiration from.
Okay,
but that's again.
So that's out of order a little bit, but they got it from somewhere.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember that other one.
Those other ones are just
yes. Okay.
Whatever. Oh, okay. No, they do take inspiration with the all black suit that he wears. Mm-hmm. It kind of looks like the one that Tom Holland wore when he went out of the country.
Okay. To try to be unrecognizable. Yes.
It was too scary, so they didn't.
But you know what? To be unrecognizable, I think my first impression when I saw the suit, that they were paying homage to Spider-Man Noir.
It could have been that. I mean, that was their reasoning in the movie to why he wears an all black suit. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Spider-Man Noir is usually rocking like a trench coat and a hat, but I can see the suits do look similar.
Yes.
And after a couple suit designs mixed with some other stuff that happens in the episodes, he finally gets to this white and black suit that I thought when they said they finally got a design, I thought it was gonna be the red and blue.
I thought it was gonna be. I was like, all right, man, they're making me wait again.
Got a white and black one, which I thought was clean. I didn't dislike it.
But when they gave their reason for not liking it, I was like, yeah, hurry up and get out of it because I'm just ready to see Spider-Man be Spider-Man.
First main thing that he does in that suit is in that same episode we see he tries and get Nico and Harry to be closer friends or whatever, and he gets called into action. And the first big thing that he does in the white and black suit is we get a cameo from the boy Daredevil, who's actually voiced by Charlie Cox.
He was, man, Charlie Cox, man, I love you guys, and I think this is awesome, Charlie. You all the praise, you get it from me.
So yeah, they have a pretty cool fight scene. Of course, we see they're dropping hints that Norman is not what he seems, because Daredevil not just gonna break into the office for no reason.
Yes,
he's gonna have a reason to. So we see he breaks into his office, steals some information. His suit is not the Daredevil suit.
It's not. It's
black with some red outlines.
And I was gonna. I'm glad you brought that up. Like, where did that come from?
Might just be his beginner suit. I'm not sure. This might be another similar but different type of thing. Yeah. He might get another look later on in the show, but for now, that's what he's wearing.
Because if it was gonna be a black suit, I needed the Muay Thai tied around the hands.
I feel like
I would have.
Netflix really accidentally created a gym with that.
Yes,
because that was just supposed to be a beginner suit. Everybody loves that suit.
I love that. Yeah,
he wears it mainly in season 3, and I'm like, dude, He got on a black long john shirt and some ropes. And everybody is like, "Oh man, this is the best thing since sliced bread."
Yes, and some type of towel tied around his head. Yeah, with no eyes. So it's like, hey, dog, people gonna know you blind. You don't have no slits in the eyes or anything. You just out here just wilding out. So that's what made it special, because I'm like, how are people not figuring out this cat can't see?
Yeah, we don't know. But back to it. That was probably, even after watching the whole show, might be my favorite fight scene in the show. Him versus Daredevil.
Probably so, yes.
They was throwing hands. There was nothing special going on. But we see by the end of it,
both of them using their senses to be able to calculate movements.
At this point, Daredevil's is kind of better.
Yes.
Which I think it is better in the comics. Spider-Man's is only helps when it's something that's trying to catch him off guard. Well, Daredevil's he's sensing everything 24/7.
Well, I have a different take on that. He's better just because he's been doing it longer.
Okay. That's because see if it was a really experienced Spider-Man, he would have handled Daredevil.
Yes.
But he got beat up.
Yes. Yeah, he brand new, which I did kind of, I guess, had an issue with that, because he's brand new Spider-Man and he's just doing a lot of things that, just to be learning. He was a little bit more advanced than what I thought he should have been.
Who?
Peter.
Nah. What do you mean?
I know they advanced and that we didn't get a lot of, what he had been going through. But just when they start off showing him as Spider-Man,
he's just swinging around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Swinging he can't around be advanced. Swinging around in some crazy ways.
Dude, you can't be advanced if you lose to Daredevil.
Okay.
He don't got no powers. Mm-hmm. Except his radar sense, but he got normal strength, normal speed, and he still lost. Yeah. This dude is sorry. Mm-hmm. But really, that was one of the bright spots of the season. We got Daredevil cameo.
Oh, you're never gonna go wrong with a Daredevil cameo, especially now and on the height of Daredevil season 4 coming out.
Meanwhile, all this is happening in the same episode. We see that Lonnie takes his brother's place in the 110th Street gang, and we kind of see the beginning of his spiral.
Of Tombstone.
Fall from grace, I would say, because he's a stand-up kid.
He was the chosen one, yes.
He supposed to go pro in football, doing great in all his classes. He's loved by everybody. He's doing everything right, but sadly, his brother gets into some stuff that he didn't want to get into, and he's like, being the selfless guy that he is, he says, "Okay, I can't leave." Big Don, the leader of the gang, is like, "Hey, we can't just let you leave with your brother." And he was like, "Okay, I'll take his place." And that kind of, we don't think of anything. I didn't think of it as anything at that moment, but we see in the later episodes that is the catalyst for everything in his life kind of spinning out of control.
Which, so I got a problem with that.
What?
Your brother, that's the life he's wanting to be in, and he's trying to get into it. Yes, you save your brother's life, or you get him out and you replace him, but it just seems like he falls in love with this gang. I don't know. It's almost like he's more of his brother than his brother is of him, because once he got in there, he just took it in and was like, okay, I'm rock. Instead of saying I'm here in this gang and I don't want to be, which he showed little bitty signs of it, but for the most part,
but then again,
after them couple minutes, he was in the gang and he was.
If he was really, really
against and he had a way to get out.
If he was really against it, I don't think he would have proposed the idea of taking his brother's place. That was the sign right there. I was like, okay, he can act like he don't like the gang, but he took your brother's place.
I get that. That's the don't kill this person, kill me, type of thing. He was like, hey,
could have snitched on him though.
He could have done a lot of things, but I thought that he was working a plan to say, all right, take me. I'm gonna get inside, and I'm smart enough that I'm gonna figure out how to take you down.
Yeah, that's.
I didn't know how he was gonna get inside and be like, oh, all right, I like this. And you know what? This ain't a bad life.
Some cats find out who you are and they're going after you. You're like, okay, this is my only form of protection. Yeah. This gang.
But we did find out he had an opportunity to get out of the gang.
And he chose to stay. One last time.
Well, no. I don't know if I'm skipping forward, but once the leader kind of gets defeated by Scorpion, he quits the gang.
Yeah.
He was good. He could have dipped. He could have went on and went home.
He said, "Nah, I'm gonna fight for my guys."
I want to, yeah, nah.
That was by a couple episodes. I feel like they had built a strong relationship.
Stronger than the football cats? No, he probably been playing with them kids since Pee Wee, middle school, high school, and now all of a sudden and they up to no good. Nah, unless I'm trying to get him out of that life. I think that was bad writing in terms of how he's going to become this person that he is. It was just he was too influenced.
But that's why I think it's easy for him to become a villain.
A quarterback or an offside, you can't get influenced that quickly and totally shift from what it is.
Influenced, or is that a part of him that was already there? I think that's the point of it.
So you're saying he didn't want to? Football would really? That was just something he was good at.
But he realized that he liked something more. I don't think it was
committing crimes.
A complete change in character. It was just like
he like committing crimes.
Not necessarily. I feel like it was more of it's the same thing. A gang. I could compare that to the football team. It's the same brotherhood and camaraderie that the other one brings.
Okay.
So I feel like that's why as well as the other stuff that goes along with it. He easily fell into it, but I feel like that was just him already.
Well, I hope don't no gang of cats roll up on you talking
that's
about.
That's not me though.
We're gonna take you in, and you like, oh, okay. I've been looking for some brothers. What bank we about to rob next? I hope that ain't what you're looking for.
That was already instilled within Lonnie.
See, again, that's an assumption that I did not pick up from anything that he's done.
But if I know the cat is gonna turn into a supervillain, I'm gonna be like, okay, he might be morally confused.
So that's why in the comic, how does he become Tombstone? Is it the same way? He just easily falls into a gang, or is it somebody turned him usually when somebody goes evil and they're good, something has to happen to them that changes their moral compass. It's not, I got to get my brother out and I'm gonna get in, and now it's like, ooh, look at this whole new world I didn't know anything about. I think I like this one. It's Connor the Lizard. He turns evil, but it's not based off of that. You know what I'm saying? So
what do you mean?
He just kind of loses sight, with he could even been mind altered by the chemicals.
Oh, definitely he was.
Yes.
And it wasn't just that. It was the fact he got his arm back and the power that came with it. It was like he just got addicted to becoming all powerful.
Yeah. So that was a substance, that was something. It was more of something else is controlling you versus free will. I think with Tombstone. Okay. That seemed a lot like free will to just give in to that and take on that role. So I think they could have wrote that a little bit better. Some tragic should have happened to him, where he just got mad and became Tombstone. But hey,
we also see
Man in the Chair.
We also see that accidentally Peter just strolls into the office when Harry's there, and he figures out that he's Spider-Man. That's another change. He is his new Ned, which I guess I'm not sure if people had a problem with it.
I got a problem with it.
But there was a lack of Harry in the Tom Holland trilogy, so he's replaced by Ned. But in this time, Harry takes his rightful spot back. What's the problem?
Well, Harry is just his best friend.
Yeah.
He ain't his guy in the chair.
And the big thing that kind of motivates him is that he doesn't know who Spider-Man is, but he wants to take vengeance. So when he finds out Peter is Spider-Man, he's like, "Oh, dude, I'm hot right now."
Yeah. Yeah.
And he starts off as a guy in the chair, and their friendship. He fills the void for when Lonnie stops hanging out with Peter. Harry becomes the new best friend. Now, in some of the later episodes, we get to see where all of this technology is coming from. Remember when he is in the middle of the internship and he goes to stop that guy and he sees that logo?
Yes.
Right?
Stop that couple.
No. Oh. I'm talking about the guy that was burning stuff down.
Yes.
Okay. Then later on, he stops the lady with the head thing on. Sees the same logo on her as well. We finally get to see that technology is getting made by Otto Octavius. And it's the same. He has the same same motives that he does in the comic books. He hates Norman Osborn and he's jealous of him, and he feels like he's smarter and he should take all the credit. So we see he's got this underground. I kind of thought it was similar to how Vulture was introduced. Getting weapons and selling it on some black market type low level type stuff. That's kind of how I felt about it. But we see that the 110th Street Gang's rival, Matt Gargan and the Scorpions, they eventually get into a deal with him, and he sells him the Scorpion gear. Matt Gargan, are you very familiar with him?
No, I'm not.
Okay, well, yeah, he's Scorpion. He actually has a cameo in one of Spider-Man's post-credit scenes. He's talking to Vulture. In Spider-Man Homecoming, he is a part of the post-credit scene. So, I mean, sadly, we got 2 more movies, and he hasn't been included yet. But hopefully he will be soon. But in this movie, in this TV show, it captures, he's crazy. He's a psychopath, and the Scorpions are crazy as well. So he sells them a bit of tech, and he raised the warehouse where Lonnie's at. Pearl ends up there as well because she's wondering why she kept ditching him. And we obviously see it's Scorpion. This is a super villain. They are extremely outmatched. And of course, Spider-Man shows up. Everybody else leaves, and we get his. It felt like Spider-Man, he wasn't really going through hard stuff like he normally is. This is his defining moment.
Yeah,
he got his butt whooped.
He's with a grown. He's battling a grown man, and a grown man that was willing to go,
was ready to kill him.
Yes, that was ready to go that extra mile.
Yeah, this is the first time that we see him really beat up.
No remorse.
This was. We said that Daredevil vs. Spider-Man was a good fight scene. This was a pretty good fight scene as well.
Okay.
I was. You don't agree?
Not really fighting. It was great just to see what Peter has to go through in order to become Spider-Man. And, you know, we always know Spider-Man never thinks that he's good enough. So him getting beat up is what I think takes us back to who Peter is, and never thinking that he's good enough to be a Spider-Man. And that's always been his problem.
This was his moment. He was like, dang, am I meant for this? And Norman does not help him either. He's like, I need you to be on the next level. You need to step it up. So he's like, dang. And not only does he get beat up, like, I would say he's pretty close to dying.
Yeah, he got stabbed.
Yeah. Scorpion was ready to kill him, and we got, I'm not going to say a cameo, but a hint to what Norman already has. He sends a freaking goblin glider down to save him. I'm like, oh, okay. He already got the glider.
You can see his prototype. He's working on something.
Yeah. So to save him, and the building falls on Scorpion or whatever, and they manage to escape. This is the first time we get to see that. This is Spider, because it's really hard for him in the comics to sneak around Aunt May with all these random bruises. But now it's like, dude, cat got a broken arm, bruises all over his face,
black eye.
Yeah, he went through it this episode. I was scared. He plays the injuries off to Aunt May as a skateboard accident. How believable is that?
Not even a little bit.
I don't know how she let that slide.
Yeah.
This was the one thing I feel like this Aunt May and the one we see in the MCU is the exact same.
Yes.
I feel like they are the exact same. She is his new Uncle Ben. So I don't know if she's gonna die, but obviously we've already seen Norman say with great power comes great respect. That is not the words of wisdom that Spider-Man is known for. So do you think Aunt May is gonna say with great power comes great responsibility?
That's a good one.
Can't think anyone else is gonna say it.
Well, I can, but
what?
Well,
who?
Somebody who's not supposed to be in this movie, period. Or it is
what?
Richard. And is his daddy name?
Yeah, he's not saying it.
Okay.
He's dead. Probably.
He's dead?
I'm not sure. They normally dead.
He in jail.
Oh, dang! How did I forget that? Dang, he could say it, but of course, does Spider-Man know that he's in jail?
Nope.
Yeah, that was a crazy cliffhanger.
Yeah, that's new. Yeah. Like, oh man, Pop's living.
I guess he might be able to say it. Either one of them are his only 2 candidates.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact he has not gotten that speech yet.
Yes, he has not got. Yeah. But yeah, we did a whole nother spin on the movie in Spider-Man where he usually loses both of his parents. He's only lost one, so we know of. Yeah. Mom might be in another prison. Who knows?
Now, with his defeat to Scorpion, we see that some positive has come from it as Norman is able to track down where Otto's lab is with him and Peter's detective work, and he finds him. We get the Iron Man cameo. I don't even think he had any. He might have said like one line, but yeah, they rush his office. We were thinking it was like, whoa, there's not enough people, but then they send an Avenger.
We got General Ross too.
Oh yes, that as well, and Doc Ock gets arrested. Later on, we've already talked about the scene where he goes to gloat to him in his jail cell. That was one of the earliest times I was like, it's something. He not the nice guy. He's making himself seem to be. While all that is going on, Peter confides in Harry, and while him and Norman's partnership is up in the air, Harry helps him bring it all in. He helps him make the comic accurate suit that we finally been waiting on this whole time. That was all him and Harry. And team what?
Him and Harry came up with the suit.
Well, no, Harry helped him.
Well, Harry came up with the suit.
No, Spider-Man, he had already written it in his notebook.
Okay.
But Harry just, he got the money to actually make the suit.
And
he gets back to Spider-Man again after it was like one episode when he was down. We see that Big Don and Lonnie, they're like, okay, we can't handle Scorpion, so we got to get some tech of our own. They try and rob the truck. Everything goes wrong. Scorpion shows up again, but this is a different Spider-Man. This is a Spider-Man with great power coming great respect. He not with all the plan.
Not off the rip.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
It took him a second.
Nah, I thought he was beating him up from the start.
No, when he first laid eyes on him, he was sweating bullets.
You're right. He was scared.
Yes, he was.
He had some PTSD. That was the first time his life was really tested.
Yeah, and he looked at him and was like, man, I can't do it. But he had to revert back, and he had to think, because he was getting his butt whooped. And he had to think about the word. Comes great respect. And he took that and took it to the max.
And he almost kills him.
Yeah.
But during this fight, we see Lonnie, the accident happens to him. He gets exposed to some experimental gas in the truck. And we think they tease it like he's going to die, but the thing breaks on his chest. And Spider-Man goes crazy on Scorpion, but spares his life thanks to Lonnie's intervention, which is still, I'm like, dude, are you a bad guy?
He's all over the place. All over the place.
He rocked with Spider-Man, but he finally got the powers.
And he's like, don't become, if you kill him, you'll become him.
Well, dude, you're in a superhero.
Yeah, dude, you're in a gang. Y'all kill people. Y'all fight other gangs. And last time I checked, gangs ain't really just into.
They're not positive.
Yeah, or I'm gonna beat you up a little bit. And
they trying to kill.
Yeah, we're trying to claim territory. We're trying to get rid of the ops.
In that same episode, we see Big Don ditches the gang.
Yes,
and we have now that set up Lonnie.
That's what I said. Lonnie took over.
The new leader of the gang.
Mm-hmm.
Still, he's supposed to be a villain, but he's not.
He's all over the place.
When he did that with Spider-Man, I was like, I don't know what's going on.
He all over the place.
In that next episode, we finally see all of the interns' projects are leading to some interdimensional portal. That, again, this is showing Norman overconfidence. He got in way over his head. And was like, nah, we can handle this. We even got Doctor Strange to pull up and say, no, this is a power you can't understand. And he said, nah. I'm Norman Osborn. I know what I'm doing. This is my show. Opens the portal.
But you got a chance to see the interns and saw their moral compass. Only it was one person that believed, well, two people, Norman and the old cat, the teacher.
Yeah.
That were, and I guess the workers that were, wanting this to happen. But all of the interns, except your boy who turns into Hulk. Amadeus. Everybody was against this, as they should have been, because they didn't honestly know what they were doing. They didn't know that each project he was bringing them. Those projects had a purpose, yes, to bring them all together.
Any of those details,
yes,
on what it becomes. And of course, the symbiote pops out, and we get to see a cool little fight scene. And Doctor Strange, his time stone. I don't know how time travel works, but this seems crazy.
Because his time stone isn't about time travel. It's just about reversing time, whatever just happened.
But he does time travel, though.
He does. Well, yeah, he does. But the times, I don't know. I didn't know the time stone did that. I thought it was just all about.
So yeah, he opens a whole new portal. We get to see Norman again, ulterior motive. He tries to recreate the Spider-Man serum, which he technically does, but it's this whole thing. He only creates it because Peter has become Spider-Man already.
Spider-Man and became injured with his fight with Scorpion. That's how he got his blood.
And then that same spider is the one that actually bites him. It's some crazy time stuff.
Yeah.
That blew me away when I saw it. I was like, dude.
That was one of those like, wow, mind blown. But then I'm still trying to figure out how is it happening.
That's one thing. I probably have to watch a YouTube video because I don't know how to explain
that. And here's the other thing that I got confused about. In all of the Spider-Mans, even when they have a bunch of them, something happens with all the Spider, and it's just one that lives and bites them, and then of course they can't find it anymore, and we can't recreate it. And you're just gonna have that quest to get with Spider-Man to get his blood. But from this one, he's still talking like he got multiple spiders and could still continue on with the project.
He does.
I thought he said it. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because of how
that spider's
the loop. But that was just one. It's a whole lab. Like he took his but he has his blood. That syringe isn't gone with all of the blood. You didn't take all the blood and put it in the spider. So he still has.
I'm not sure how it's gonna work.
I don't, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, you're right, because I know that DNA is gonna be how he becomes the Goblin. That's why.
But it didn't. So it's kind of like
he just hasn't been bit yet. Okay. Or is that? And I don't think they had did enough testing to even know that spider was the one yet. But they got rudely interrupted, and we see obviously it was the one that got him his powers through the whole time loop thing. But yes, the ones that they still have, it's not. Sometimes they try and make a Spider-Man army. In this one, Norman, I think he's gonna want the power all to himself.
And honestly, no matter what, even though he's Spider-Man Norman really doesn't know it's the spider that bit him. That's probably not even a focus anymore. It's just probably really about his blood.
Just how do I create? That's why
not knowing where he came from.
The spider powers. He's just gonna have the super strength, super speed, and all of that. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
With that remaining DNA, I think that's gonna be the segue into how he becomes the Goblin.
Okay.
After they save the day, we get to see that Spider-Man and Doctor Strange have a mentor-student type of relationship, so kind of paralleling the MCU as well, and they have a good conversation on a rooftop. And Doctor Strange is like, "Hey, whatever comes, I think you'll be ready, even with or without the time stone." Throughout these episodes, we also see Nico is finally tapping into her magical roots with her necklace. We kind of were questioning whether she was going to become a hero in this. It's been a slow burn. By the later episodes, we see that she finally forgives Peter for not telling her that he was Spider-Man, and that was one of the key things with their friendship.
Which is interesting.
That was I don't want to sound like that guy. That just kind of seemed like a woman type of thing.
And I'm glad you said that because I didn't want to say it.
But yeah, I was like, what is she mad for?
You're a whole sorcerer or whatever out here, and you mad at him for hiding his power. I was like, how does that work? And I was like, I know what world that works in.
But that was one of the key things. I'm glad that even though it was dumb, they still grew closer by the end of it. Him, Harry, and Nico.
Yeah, it took him apologizing.
Yeah, for even though he wasn't in the wrong.
Yeah.
But hey, that was just how it had that. That's just how it had to happen.
Yeah, I wonder who wrote that episode.
We see, I'm not gonna say they turn against Norman, but Harry and Peter bring up the idea they make their own company. I don't know. I've never heard or seen that before, but it kind of seems like, I don't know, that maybe that could be a reason that Norman tries to.
I was about to say that's the start. That's the start of going ahead and then separating them.
Yeah,
everything's happening.
Yeah, Harry and Peter are like this at this point. And they're like, okay, and they start sending out invites to people to join their company. This is where again they sent the invite to Amadeus Cho. I think him joining this company could go ways into him becoming the Hulk.
No ways.
What are you talking about?
He put them jokers on mute. because he's already got his place. He's rocking with. Yeah.
He is rocking with Norman.
Yeah, he rocking with Norman. He already got an office, skyline in the background. He's like, I ain't thinking about y'all. I'm where I want to be.
So now I am kind of questioning how he's gonna become the Hulk.
Yeah. He's not rocking with them cats.
But I'm not gonna say with this company being made, are we gonna try and see some type of form of runaways with this company? It kind of feels like a bunch of these people are gonna be special that join it.
Well, it was about being the brightest minds. It wasn't just about having a.
But I mean, this is a superhero show, okay. So I feel like it so happens that the people that get to it are gonna have something happen to them, because I'm pretty sure he sends it to Lonnie as well.
He might have, yeah, but he's a bright mind.
A bright mind, and he's special able.
Yeah.
So.
Unknowing and.
Yeah, none of them are gonna know that everybody else has powers until something's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. But that's just kind of how this is their excuse for all of them to team up at some point.
Yeah. Which I got a problem with it.
What?
I mean,
lazy is it?
It's super lazy. I'm like, what is this, Gen Z? But we just got a school full of what school has just Gen V? Gen V. Like this school where Midville, with Peter's school, is full of superheroes. Like, what's the chances of that? And I'm like, but that's lazy, right? It's either a version of Gen V or it's the Justice League, that where they just trying to hurry up and enter, because they got their mind so far in the future. I'm creating this show. You know what? Let's just put everybody in one show and just hurry this thing along so that we can make all these other shows.
If we're gonna say
why they all up in the same school?
You can't do that.
Wave, Nico, Tombstone.
But so let's say the same thing for the Marvel Netflix.
Spider-Man.
For the Marvel Netflix shows.
What?
They all in New York. They all like 10 minutes away from each other.
That's fine, but they don't know. These are all friends.
Hey.
They're all they're all friends. Hey, if we're in the city and you doing your thing, and we just coincidentally meet up, that's fine. All of these people go to the same school.
No.
What's the chances? How many other high schools in New York got that many superheroes?
They're all friends
in the same building.
Coincidentally, they become superheroes. You see,
but they all got power. But they got power. Everybody got something going on.
But they get them along the way, though.
Yeah.
It's not like they're all superheroes at the start of the show. We get to see how they become. Nico don't even have powers yet. Her thing be glowing every now and again, but she don't know what it means.
She definitely has powers.
Yeah, but she doesn't know that though.
You don't remember her sitting on the ground and making the things go up in there?
What does that mean?
That's a power.
She finding some stuff out, but she not a superhero.
And she was doggone reading scriptures, dude. She knows she got power. She was doing chants.
But I know for a fact Pearl doesn't know.
Yes. Okay.
And again, we don't even know if that's going to be all the people that are in it. Uh-huh. We see that one of Daredevil's associates that we find out is actually a superhero the whole time.
And she
got the invite as well. So they sent some stuff up.
Yeah.
This is going to be, not sure, a Young Avengers or Runaways. I'm not sure how this is going to set up. But again, I don't even know why Lonnie would join this, because he's supposed to be a villain.
Yeah, he's going to be.
Unless
Lonnie out.
They make him an anti-hero or something like that.
No, Lonnie's a villain.
Okay. They might. Again. But we see they're making their own changes to this show.
Oh, that is true too.
So we could not be that guy.
Well, that'd be jacked up, because now we got to figure out. Well, you still got Rhino and.
Dude, we got a lot of villains. Tombstone doesn't have to be a villain.
Yeah, I just said, we still got some other guys. Venom. We got Venom is here.
Yeah, we see the symbiote slip
the portal
through.
Closed up. Yeah, Venom is here. So yeah, you're right about that. They could flip Tombstone. I wouldn't like it, but so that was pretty much a
wrap on season 1.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to watch it. I was more focused on Invincible. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, Dad,
let's watch it.
We gotta. Hey.
I enjoyed the show.
I did.
Yeah. But I did have my quirks or my things that I saw, like, I've already discussed. A lot of things are happening way too fast. One thing that we didn't talk about. His suit, his beginning suit. I don't know what that backpack was with the. That just
we see it right here.
Yes,
it's carrying his web fluid, and the wires are connected.
Yeah, it didn't seem functional.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah,
that's the point of it, though.
But we've never seen that type of version of it.
It's different but the same.
Oh, so they was trying to really go with reality and say, hey, if he's shooting web, he's gonna need a backpack. Yeah. I guess. I never even really thought about it like that.
But we have talked for probably like an hour at this point. You still haven't given a rating of the show.
7.
Oh, okay. Thanks. I gave it a 1.5 higher than you.
Yeah.
I hope that season 2 is gonna surprise you a lot more. Do you think this show is overrated? A lot of people are talking highly about it.
Talking highly about it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's top 5. It's up there.
Oh no, this isn't nowhere near better than Spider-Verse 1 or 2.
I'm talking about some of the TV shows,
like Daredevil series type.
No. I'm talking about anime Spider-Man shows.
Spider-Man shows.
I'm talking about Ultimate Spider-Man, the ones that was coming out when you were a kid. We already discussed we don't think it's better than Ultimate Spider-Man.
No.
And I feel like people are jumping to the gun. It's only season 1.
So yeah, we're reading different blogs because the blogs that I'm reading,
they don't like it.
They don't like it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and there were some things that they point out, like the however is they created it is real glitchy, and even those fight scenes, everything is. It ain't smooth. It ain't fluent.
I would have to rewatch it.
You got to rewatch it. Well, I peeped that, because I am into film and photography and things like that. So I was noticing. I was like, it ain't a smooth, continuous motion. Everything is kind of everything is slow.
I will say that. I do agree with that. So, with all that being said, there's a lot of positives, I feel like.
Yeah, and I'm ready for season 2.
There's a lot of negatives. It's definitely, but with that all being said, I definitely think it's gonna get renewed for season 2.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that bad.
I don't think it's a must watch. So still go ahead and check it out and get your own opinions on what you think about it.
One more thing before we end it off. For an animated show, it's only 10 episodes. They're treating it like it's a live action show. With these animated stuff, we get 15, 20 episodes.
You're right about that.
Why do you think we didn't get that many episodes?
I don't know why we didn't get this many episodes. We didn't get this many episodes. And 20 minutes, 22 minutes is wild. Like it's quick. It's 10 episodes and there are some quick episodes. So that's why, again, things to me got kind of rushed because the episodes are so short that we just they threw a lot at us for it to be season 1 of Spider-Man with all of these. It's a lot of characters.
This felt like you could have did. It was a bunch of cameos.
Yeah.
A bunch of new characters being brought in.
So what? Ryan Reynolds was in on the production.
Oh man, why are we throwing shots? Whatever. I'm ready to
Cameo King.
8.5. 7. I think everybody should check it out. It's a new artistic view of Spider-Man, and they put their own spin on it. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it for what it was.
Hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, hit the like button.
Let us know what you you'll recommend for us to watch next.